Lund Boats proudly presents Jarrett Edwards Outdoors. Jarrett Edwards Outdoors is presented by Built Ford Tough, Cooper Tires, Mercury, Lund Boats, St. Croix, Lowrance, Jerry Yamamoto Custom Baits, Lake Powell Resorts and Marinas, Tackle Warehouse, and Motor Guide.
There he is.
There you go.
Let's see what we got here. That guy hit it right on the fall.
That's it. A lot of reaction on the upstroke and a nice flutter on the down. Gets him going.
Come on up here, big guy. Man, that is fun.
I tell you, it's, look at that fish in the clear water. Nice walleye.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a great fish, you know?
Nothing better than that. Take a look at that.
Look at that.
Move a rod out of the way.
You talk about a fat, nice looking fish.
You bet. Beautiful fish. I tell you what, let's go ahead and get her back in the water real quick. We'll let the folks know what we're doing this morning.
In the net?
Yeah.
Kick her back.
All right. See you, baby. All right, let's discuss this here.
Great fish, man.
Guys, it's late fall right here in Colorado. You know, and today it's all about the ice jig, right?
Kind of a crossover between a reactionary bait and a feeding bait. So it has a lot of vibration, a lot of flash on the way up, and then a nice, slow, subtle fall kind of brings on that feed type of the bite. So it's the best of all worlds. And when the forage is at its thickest like it is right now in the fall, most lakes that you're walleye fishing have gizzard shad. This lake is all spot tail shiners and perch, but nonetheless, the fall, the forage is the thickest. You know, so there's a lot of food. So normally when we're using live bait rigs or jigs like we usually do, it's just not enough reaction and it can't trigger these fish. They have so much food. I mean, it's like they're at the buffet all day long. So this bait comes up with a lot of vibration, a lot of reaction, and then has that nice slow fall just like a normal presentation would. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, but that reaction is what's triggering the bite.
You know, it's interesting. You have a quarter-ounce piece of lead, a hook on one side, hook on another, and a little size baby 8 treble down there, and it's just ready for action.
It's a mean bait, buddy.
I tell you, fast drop, that's what it's all about. It's great getting back in the boat, Nate.
Absolutely, buddy.
Let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Here we go, guys, right there. I'm gonna drop this bait right on down there. You can see it falling right there onto the screen, all the way down deep. There we go. Bait's on the bottom. Now it's all about the jig. I watched that guy annihilate that right on the drop. All right, come on over here, buddy.
Just stepping back, grabbing a new bait.
I saw that.
We got some breeze coming, fish some deeper water. He's gonna grab a heavier bait.
There he is.
Nice wall. There we go.
Nice.
That bait is gone.
Look at that thing. I'm telling you.
That is a nice fish, and he absolutely, I mean,
yeah, that is, oh, perfect. That is a nice eye. I tell you what, guys, I saw this fish right on the graph, decided to drop down right to her,
It's a big fish.
and I saw my line pop, and sure enough, that was time to set up. Let's go ahead and put her back in the water, and let's tell folks what we're doing a little bit different.
That's cool.
See you. Nate, it's all about the forage, right?
There's no doubt, you know, when it comes to fall fishing, you hear guys catching walleyes in 3-4 feet of water. They might be on a gizzard shad hatch or a fathead minnow bite.
Gotcha.
But here it's all about spot tail shiners and perch, and it's all about kind of finding those on the graph and finding those actively feeding fish. And we don't want to find walleyes by themselves. We don't want to find bait by themselves. We want to find that relationship where we have actively feeding fish on that forage.
Gotcha.
And you're on active fish. It's so much easier to target those fish.
I have to tell you, for the folks at home, so many folks want to utilize their graph just for depth and temperature. You know, they might go spend $3 grand on a graph for depth and temperature. But the biggest thing here today is just being able to utilize the trolling motor as well as the graph, find the fish on there, drop your bait, watch it fall all the way down on the screen. I mean, it's video game fishing at its finest. To me, it's the very best fishing possible.
Definitely. I mean, that's it. And, and we're talking about that, trying to set up your day and just being more successful as an angler by having maps. We're talking about the small body of water out here. This lake doesn't get utilized enough to where you're going to have great topographical maps made for this body of water. But Lowrance has created the best system, Insight Genesis, to where I can come out here and I can record all the data from a day of fishing. And it's not like I have to come out here and just graph. I can just fish and record what I'm doing. And all of a sudden I plug it in the computer and I spit out literally the finest topo map you can actually have. So now that I have this whole lake mapped, we have great contour, so we can plan out where the bait fish are, where the perch minnows are, and we know where these walleyes are going to be stacked up. You simply just come out here, drop down, and have a good day on the water.
There's no doubt about it. Technology, it's here. Use it, right? It's going to make you a better angler.
It's going to catch you more fish.
Let's drop down some more fish.
Definitely.
A couple fish moving. This one's 22 foot. Oh, got him right under there. There he comes. He doesn't know he's pinned yet, huh? Oh. Seeing him on the graph, and we just went a little bit ahead here. Dropped on back, sure enough.
I mean,
whack.
You had what, 2 on that cast? You chased it after?
Yeah.
I mean,
these fish
awesome.
are vicious.
I mean, just good.
Look at that.
Came off just like a couple of them have. I mean, these reaction baits, I mean, they're hitting it so fast chasing after it. I mean, so many of them are just so lightly stuck.
You bet. That thing is beautiful, huh?
I mean, golden color, that's an awesome
buddy.
fish.
All right, well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and put him back in the net. I'll get this bait out. There we go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Set him back in.
All right, see you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
There he goes.
It is.
Man, these things take off extremely fast.
Oh, they're excited, and that's the thing. In this cold water, they got a lot of energy. I mean, they're full of spunk, and even yourself might say that a walleye doesn't really fight hard if you're coming from the bass world, things like that. But
yeah.
I mean, these fish put up a fight in this cold water.
Sure. Oh, no doubt about it. It's a lot of dead weight. You stick them, you're dragging them in, but they want to stay down deep. There's no doubt about it. Nate, I'm throwing the small 1/4 ounce. You're throwing the same one, but a 1/2 ounce. A little bit bigger.
These baits come anywhere from a 1/4 ounce to 1 ounce, and I'm starting a little heavier, thinking I can cover more water. I'm working the bait faster, just cover more water, looking for fish.
Sure.
You're slowing things down a little bit, and obviously it's working. They're definitely taking yours a little more. One of the biggest things is this bait falls fast. The wings on all these styles of baits is on the back of the bait, and that's what gives it the vibration and flash, but it hits the bottom quick, and I think a lot of anglers will snap this bait up, and you can drop your rod tip, you can kind of control the fall, you can even hold it high and make it pendulum down, and
Absolutely.
all are gonna have their cases of when they're gonna work, and the biggest thing is to pay attention to all the details. As you're catching these fish, are they hitting it on the high point? Are they hitting it halfway down? I mean, a couple of bites I just had, I could literally feel them hit it as almost the bait was touching bottom.
You
so
bet.
there's a lot of different things, but the biggest thing is have a tight line, have control of that bait. Even if you're letting it fall at its natural pace, still keep a semi-taut line.
No doubt.
To where you can feel that bite.
They're heavy. I mean, it's not like you're fishing a 1/4 ounce crankbait that might be big or something. This bait right here is solid lead with wire running through and a couple hooks, right? Yep. So, I mean, when you hook these fish, to me, the intense pressure you have to keep on these fish to get them to the boat, I'd almost say it's more than if I hooked a fish with plastic, slowly bringing them in. Because any chance you give that walleye down there, or trout or bass, whatever bites, a chance just to shake his head, man, he can really pendulum that bait right on out.
On a soft mouth like a walleye, it's even worse.
Today we've missed more than we've caught.
Yeah,
and that's the fun part about it. So it's definitely a victory when you get them to the boat.
Awesome, man. Let's get another one.
I'm Jarrett Edwards here today with Mercury's very own Brian Kluge. Brian, how we doing?
Hey, Jarrett, fantastic, thanks.
You bet. Fuel Care Products is what this segment's all about. A lot of folks don't use them out there, but there's definitely many advantages to this. I know you folks carry a great complete line of fuel additive care, and I was hoping you could walk us through some of them today.
Absolutely. The first product I'd like to talk about is Quick Store. This is strictly a stabilization product, so it reduces the level of oxidation and really is your traditional stabilizer product that you see out in the marketplace.
Basically with that, if it's winter time and I'm wanting to store my boat for 5 or 6 months without using it, I'd use that product there.
Right, yep, your classic winterization product. So the second item is Quick Clean. So if you're experiencing any hesitation or any stuttering in your engine, it could be from fuel deposits.
I see.
So what this product does is really help to clean up and remove those deposits from the fuel system. And again, what we call a mechanic in a bottle.
Very nice.
And the last product, and most importantly, newer product, it really is a multi-use or a multi-function product.
Okay.
And it's called Quick Care. And really, the easiest way to explain it is a combination of the Quick Clean and Quick Store product all wrapped into one.
Oh, very nice. Well, there you guys have it. I tell you, you know, being able to use the right fuel additives is definitely going to prolong the life of your motor. To learn a lot more about Mercury fuel additives, it's pretty simple. Visit us online, mercurymarine.com. I'm Jarrett Edwards, and this has been your Mercury Minute.
Fish.
What do you got, buddy?
Got a nice one, you know?
Nice. Let me
Right on that
reel
flat.
in. Let me grab this net here.
A lot of spunk to it.
Nice. So,
We're drifting along and same thing. We're kind of working these edges. I kind of pitched it out to a grid where we have this kind of deeper water right next to us.
Absolutely,
and
sure.
On the edge of this flat. Here he is right here.
man, the action's been hot this morning.
There he is.
On over.
Got him.
Well, look at that.
I mean, just fat fish.
No doubt
And they
about
are
it.
great looking. So kneel down here. Let me get that hook out of him.
Yeah. So, you know, what's interesting to me, there you go, look at that.
Got it out.
So what's interesting to me, Nate, is we've covered a lot of distance out there, right? And only so few is productive. So let's talk about what type of structure these fish are holding on. Let me go ahead and put her back in.
Let's get
and
her
we'll
back in,
discuss it to the
definitely.
folks at home. See you, sweetheart. Man, these things bolt right out of there,
They
huh?
take off, don't they?
Yeah, so here's the deal. What are folks looking for at home when they come down here into Aurora to try to duplicate?
Definitely, you know, it all comes down. We talked about forage, you know, and if you can try to do your research and know the forage, it helps you out so much. And we talked about spot-tail shiners and perches are forage base in this body of water. So these walleyes, really any of your predator fish, whether it's bass, catfish, wiper, they're going to key in on those same forages. So if the fish are keying in on spot-tail shiners, you're going to really see these fish holding on points or really anywhere where they're going to have funnel points or ambush points. So,
Okay.
you know, these spot-tail shiners are constantly on the go, constantly cruising around. So these walleyes will sit on a point, and as those spot-tail shiners come around, the walleyes will come off the structure, grab them, and kind of go back to bottom. So they're holding on those points. So, you know, we always come out here, we start graphing the points and kind of checking that. If we see fish on those points, we're going to hold right on top of them and just beat them up. Every cast at the same point, because those fish are going to hold tight.
You know, all about the right structure and getting out here and the timing. You know, we started this morning, but the bite seems to be happening a little bit further in the day.
Definitely. You know, it seems also, you know, we start off with kind of cloud cover, and the water's cold, so they're going to feed all day, and this bright sun, a lot of people think it turns off walleyes. Walleyes actually like it. They can see our baits better, and it actually pushes those perch tighter to the bottom, making it easier to feed.
Gotcha. There you go. It's all about structure and timing, which is key on today's show.
Come on, fish. Got him.
Nice.
There we go.
You just called it too. Come on, fish.
Just called it. Said, come on, bite, and they came bit.
Let me grab that net, buddy.
Grab the net for me.
All right.
You know, it's crazy. So we started off with some dull colors in the clouds, and then all of a sudden we started getting some bright sun. I put on a metallic bait, you know, a little shine.
Sure.
And, you know, we're talking about fishing in 20, 30 feet of water. And it's crazy how, I mean, everybody's like, what's it, pitch black down there? I mean, these
Yeah.
fish can see no problem 30 feet of water. Changing color just a little bit makes a huge difference. I mean, that's 3-4 casts, you know, with
Yeah,
lights
you've been
every
getting
single cast.
no doubt about
I mean,
it.
it's crazy. The small
That's it.
things make a big, big difference.
I'm either gonna steal that bait or I'm gonna tie one on the same color.
How about we tie one on there?
You know?
Just let me catch a couple more first.
That'll work.
Get him unhooked. And
Oh,
we'll,
that's Junior.
there's no doubt there's some bigger. And
Huh.
that's it. You know, 16 inches, still a great walleye. Definitely, you know, you're looking for the bigger ones, but I'll tell you what, it's a fun bite.
Yeah.
Send him back, we'll kick him loose.
All right. See you later, buddy. Adios. So you're telling me that, in your opinion, walleye can see fine down at 30 foot deep?
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. They're known for their eyesight. Their vision's just absolutely flawless. And, you know, they're known to feed at night, but they feed all day long, and their eyesight is just incredible. Even in 30 feet of water, 40 feet of water, I mean, there's enough light penetration. They can see extremely well. I mean, we're talking about baits. You know, earlier we're using kind of some brighter colors, and, you know, just switching up just to a metallic colored bait like I have right here.
Sure.
Made a huge difference now that we kind of have calmer water and that bright sun coming down there. You know, again, those kind kind of brighter colors. Even though they're bright, they're not that shiny, so they fade out. That's where you have a metallic bait like this, and all of a sudden you throw that in there, and I mean, it just throws off an extreme shimmer and shine. Those fish can see it from a long way.
No doubt about it, just like the baby perch. I mean, exact same color.
Exactly, same color.
There you go. Sometimes a little bit of change can make a whole difference for your entire fishing day.
Definitely. Fish.
Nice. Man, that thing hit you way out there.
I mean,
too,
like, as far as I could cast.
All right, you dog, I just cast too, so let me reel in.
You know, way out there. I mean, just a mile away.
These things are destroying these.
You know, it's crazy, and
These
I know
baits.
it kind of looks a little dramatic on the hook set, but when you're out there as far as you can with these, you know, I'm using a short 6-foot rod. I mean, you got to lay it to them to get all that line out of there.
No doubt
30 feet
about
of
it.
water and as far out as you can go. It's
Sure.
it's a poke to get that hook set. But look how far away you can see that fish swimming.
You bet. It's beautiful. Come on over, buddy. And look at that. Bait comes right out almost every single time.
Exactly. You know, like you were talking about holding pressure, I want to talk about that just a little bit, because I think so many people, when they hook fish, they tend to maybe pump the rod or give it a second hook set because they're worried they didn't get the first time.
Absolutely.
If you change the pressure in these fish mouth and you change the angle of that bait, especially on a long cast like that, you have no chance of landing that fish.
He's gonna spit it, huh?
He'll spit it every single time. So
Yeah, it makes perfect
I mean,
sense,
having to the point where you even have to watch your rod tip to make sure it doesn't move back and forth as you're fighting that fish.
Sure.
That's what it might take to be successful on a fish like that. I mean,
Look at that.
long ways out there, great
Beautiful
fish.
eye, huh?
Let's kick that one back, man. Let's get another one. I'll tell you
All
what,
right.
that was awesome. And it might be a good
Way
sign. There
out
might be
there,
more
too.
fish right on the edge of that break.
You bet. Oh, little buddy. Away he goes.
There it goes. You know, and again, you just can't stress enough that, you know, keeping good pressure on that. And I think the other thing to talk about is, you know, real quick, is everybody has a different power rod. You know, you're using,
Sure.
what, a 7-foot rod, lighter action. I'm using
Absolutely.
a shorter, stiffer rod. But again, no matter what it is, if you use too stiff a rod, you're not going to keep the rod loaded, and that fish turns towards you one time and it's
Be
off.
gone.
So, I mean,
Sure.
that continuous pressure once the fish is hooked is absolutely key, especially when they're taking reaction baits and you're not getting a solid hook set every time.
No doubt. Yeah, that's some great advice.
This segment brought to you by Tackle Warehouse, guaranteed lowest prices.
The equipment on today's show is very critical. We start off with a 7-foot medium light power St. Croix Legend Elite model. Now, this is a brand new model they released this year at ICAST, along with the cork handles, and I tell you, this blank is extremely sensitive. The medium light power was key because the last 18 inches of the rod's very parabolic. It's gonna allow you, especially with these little ice jigs, to cast extremely far. Now, we went ahead and matched that with a 6-pound copolymer line. The copolymer allowed a little bit more stretch today. And we went ahead and matched that with about a 2500 series of spinning reel. And I went ahead and tightened down on the drag, but if you guys have watched the show for a while, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of being able to back reel on most occasions if we get a fish that big. Now, we also did catch some few select fish also on the bait cast. Same thing, a 7-foot. Now, this is a medium power of the St. Croix Legend Extreme rod. We backed this up with 10-pound fluorocarbon line and a pretty smooth bait caster. You know, fishing this style today for the very first time, I'm glad I chose a reel with a very fast gear ratio. I believe anything with a 6.2 to 1 or higher is going to be key, because so many times when you're jigging that bait, those fish bite and you stick them, they'll run right directly at you. So being able to catch up on them is key. There it is. Come on over here, buddy.
Stick him?
He's on there. It's keeping him pins the challenge.
That's always the challenge.
I tell you guys, you have to come down and experience this fishing. It's reaction bait walleye right on the ground.
Nice fish.
Yes,
Tell you
sir.
what, they're so fat this time of year. It's just incredible.
There's no doubt about it.
That right there is.
You just twitch it down there and you lift up, there's pressure. You just keep it consistent, keep reeling it all the way in. These fish out here, it's just been a ball. Today's a ball, man.
I'm a big guy, I got big hands, and that's a fat fish when I can't get my hands around it. I mean, that's just what it is, man.
Yeah,
So
look at
it's
that,
been a
it's beautiful.
fun day. We have caught a lot of nice
There's
fish.
no doubt about it. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and release that guy.
Over there with me. There she goes. I can't say enough at how fat these fish are.
It's been a ball, you know. And one thing that's great about this, I mean, it's almost November. Everybody has traded all their rods and reels, right? And where they at? They're up in a tree stand somewhere. They're out doing something, and we're busting walleye all day. And we've caught a lot of fish today. We've missed even more, which is just, you know, traditional here with these little bad boys. But you know, I learned a lot fishing these little ice jigs, Nate, and really want to thank you for your time out here. You know, every time we come up here to Colorado, it's always good to get in the boat with Nate. Nate's just a phenomenal angler and even a better guy. And you know, you guys have your guide service, Tightline Outdoors, which is, you know, the most dominant guide service in Colorado. And for a number of reasons, you guys have guides that they go out for a variety of species.
Pretty much every species in the state.
There's no doubt about it, and catch them just like what a phenomenal morning that we've had here. So as always, thanks again.
Thank you
guys,
so much, man.
You bet. I'm Jarrett Edwards. Thanks so much for watching. I tell you, we have the best job in the world being able to travel to some of the most unique fisheries throughout the entire West Coast and to pair up with some of the best guys to be able to teach you how to get the job done next time you're on the water. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Jarrett Edwards. We look forward to seeing you right back here next week. Jarrett Edwards Outdoors. Man, we crushed him this morning.
Did great, buddy.
Jarrett Edwards Outdoors is presented by Built Ford Tough, Cooper Tires, Mercury, Lund Boat, St. Croix, Lowrance, Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, Lake Powell Resorts and Marinas, Tackle Warehouse, and Motor Guide.